Welcome everybody to Ligbt's final shootout. It's Sunday, March 6th, and we're at AMF Garden City for a Final Four shootout. Let's introduce our players for today. Up first is Mr. Frank Lunghi from Farmingdale, New York. Frank has a 170 club average and he's getting 45 pins. Up next is Miss Jetta Bonds from Brooklyn, New York. Jetta has a 156 club average and she's getting 57 pins. Up next is Mr. Joe LaBargo from Bayside, New York. Joe has a 170 club average and he's getting 45 pins. And last but not least, Mr. George Williams from Jamaica, New York. George has a 151 average and he's getting 62 pins. All right, bowlers, shake hands and Bobby, I need arrows. Arrows. Let's get this match rolling. We had a big tournament here over at AMF Garden City as 133 bowlers packed the bowling center for a two-squad event. It was real exciting here all day. We are bowling on the Kegel's middle of the road shot, which is 39 feet. Scores were 725 in the first squad to make the cut, 722 in the second squad, so it was pretty even for both. Frank, you're on the left, you may go. All right, Frank Lunghi's going to start us off. First prize today is $1,000, second is $500, third is $350, fourth is $300. Total prize fund today was well over $4,000. Minimum prize in the prize fund was $100. Okay, Frank Lunghi up first for the first shot of the match here at Garden City. All right, here comes Frank. He's going to cross over, going Jersey, and he strikes. Jetta, you're on the right. Oh no, Joe's on the right. I'm sorry. All right, Frank. And as you see, Frank is wearing an Ligbt shirt, which he got from the Tournament of Champions when he bowled it several years ago. All right, here comes Joe LaBargo. Joe has the highest average in the final shootout, so he's giving everybody pins. Here comes his first shot down the middle. Goes a little high, leaves a stone 4 pin. And here's our only lefty, Miss Jetta Bonds. And here comes Jetta. She's going high, going Jersey. Leaves the 4-7. All right, Joe. Looking for an easy spare for Joe. 4 pins now. Joe. He's giving 45 pins, so he's giving good spare. He's giving Jetta 8 pins. Frank Lunghi and Joe are bowling scratch. And George Williams is getting 17 pins from both Joe and Frank. Oh, Jetta, bad break, chops the 4 off the 7. So that's the first open of the match. All right, George Williams now will be finishing up the first frame. Our tournament, once again, Ligbt, sponsored by Brunswick. Brunswick selling the best balls in the world. Ooh, goes Jersey, leaves the 9 count. 9 pins. Okay, George Williams getting ready to finish up the first frame. Okay, George taking his time. He gets up there and he covers that spare perfectly. Well done, George. So 3 of the 4 bowlers marked in the first frame. We're going to see Joe LaBargo entering frame number 2. Joe is working on a spare. I got it. All right, here comes Frank Lunghi. Frank going. This one looks pretty good. In the pocket, 10. Oh my God! He left a ringing 7 pin.
Where's that shirt?
Wow, a ringing 7 pin for Frank. All right, Joe LaBargo. Frank looking for a double. Should have had it. Here comes Joe's shot. This one's going high. gets a break, leaves a 6-10. He holds his hands up knowing he got a break. All right, Frank Lunghi looking for the 7-pin. This should be a fairly easy spare for Frank. And he makes it. Good shot for Frank. Frank Lunghi.
I got the right shirt, solid 7.
The senior citizen of the match, 67 years old. Here comes Joe. Makes the spare. Well done for Joe. Joe starts the match with 2 consecutive spares. All right, Jetta Bonds on the right. George Williams on the left. Oh, Jetta gonna miss this way right. She gets just 5. Jetta, really good bowler. And in the background, she has her 5-year-old son, Jalen, rooting her on. George Williams working on a 9 spare. This one's going to go Jersey. He strikes! Way to go, George. Good. All right, here comes Jetta. Jetta has never won an LIGBT title. Her best finish is 2nd place in July 2015. All right, we have finished with frame number 2. Jetta Bonds has got the only 2 opens, both in the first 2 frames, but she's still in this match. She gets 57 pins in handicap. All right, Joe LaBargo off to 2 spare start. Here comes Kenny, start striking. This one looks pretty good. Rips the rack, kicks out the 4 and the 5. Way to go, Joe. Joe LaBargo has 1 title. It was at AMF Plainview in January 2016, and it was during the weekend of the big blizzard of 2016, but Joe made it through there, and it was worth his while as he came in and won his first title. All right, Frank Lunghi, he's spinning it up, gonna be light. Ooh, breaks off the washout, leaves the 1-2-8. So Frank working off his spare. Now Frank's first title and only title was in 2012. It's been 4 years for Frank. He won his title at East Isa Plains. He's been a member since 2011. All right, George Williams going up there, going Jersey. Goes high, leaves the 3-10 baby split. Now George has got 1 title, and it was at Herald Lanes all the way back in December 2010, 6 years ago. So it's been a while since George has visited the winner's circle. Good spare for Frank. His friends in the back are clapping.
That was tailor-made.
All right. George Williams, let's see if he can convert this baby split. Tough spare for George. Oh, this one's going way wide. And he misses it right, so he gets just the 10 pin, so that's George's first open. All right, Jetta Bonds looking for her first mark in the match. This one, that's a better shot for Jetta. Oh, she goes in the pocket, leaves just the 7. Good shot for Jetta. Jetta is 41 years young. She qualified today at 3 o'clock with a 7:55 series. All right, Jetta looking for her first spare. And this one looks pretty good. Great spare for Jetta Bonds. Way to go, Jetta. All right, Frank Lunghi. He's clean for the first 3 frames. Frank standing all the way to the right. Frank shot a 767 in the 3 o'clock squad to qualify today. Here comes Frank going wide again. Coming up, he does hit the head pin, leaves just the 2 pin. So a good 9 count for Frank on a spare. Scoring was fairly moderate today on the 39-foot middle-of-the-road pattern. But bowlers have been bowling on it for about 7.5, 8 hours, so that's why it's gotten a little spotty. Joe going high. Oh, this time he pays dearly for it with the 4-10 split. Joe knew he tugged it. All right, Frank Looking for an easy spare. That's the 2-pin. He's all over it. Good spare, Frank. He walks away confidently. So Frank, 4 for 4 in March.
Even pin.
All right, Joe misses both of them, trying for the split. He was on a strike, so that 1-pin miss cost him 2 pins, so he's got his first open. Jetta Bonds now up in her 4th frame. Here comes Jetta. This one could hold pocket, hold on pocket, going high, trips the 6-10, way to go. Could have been a double for Jetta. So Jetta's back in the marking as she strikes in her 4th frame. George Williams, who qualified at 3 o'clock today with a 787 series. Great bowling for George. George has 1 daughter. Good shot here. Oh, that's the best shot of the match for anybody. 10 in the pin. George Williams saying, I am here grabbing my first title in 6 years. All right, Joe LaBargo kicking off frame number 5. Joe working off an open. This one looks pretty light, and he leaves the washout. 1, 2, 8, 10. Frank Lunghi on the left, working on a spare. Here comes Frank's shot. This one might go high. Going Jersey high. No, leaves the 310. We have splits on both the left and right lane. All right, let's see if Joe can make this spare. Joe, a good bowler, has probably a 50-50 shot. This one looks good. Oh, good try. Just got 2. So Joe has his 2nd consecutive open. Let's see if Frank Lunghi convert this. If Frank doesn't convert it, that means everybody will have at least 1 open in the first 5 frames. This one's got a good shot. He's got it. What a great shot for Frank Lunghi. Frank staying clean. The only bowler that's clean after 5 frames. Now, we haven't had a double yet, but both George and Jetta are on strikes. Let's see if one of them can double. George going up first on the right lane. George works for the Department of the Homeless Services for the city. His home bowling center is Whitestone Lanes. Coming up, this looks a little high. Oh, he leaves just a 4-pin. Good shot for Georgie. Let's see if Jetta can get the first double of the match. Here she goes. This one's going to be light. And again, no double. She leaves a 6 count, but on a strike, doesn't lose any wood. Ligbt next week will be running its monthly house shot tournament over at South Levittown Lanes. We hope you can make it. That's Sunday, March 13th, 1 and 3 p.m. No bonus pins. Your games don't count against your Ligbt average. Oh, and George misses the easy spare. Wow, a shocker. George having an open in the 5th frame. And here comes Jetta. And she has an open frame as she leaves just the 9-pin. Let's check the scores after 5 frames. And as you can see, Frank Lunghi spare with 119. Jetta with the open in the 5th frame. She's got 123 on an open. And there's Joe LaBargo, 117 with an open. And then George Williams, 138 with an open. So right now, Frank Lunghi technically is leading by 1 pin if he strikes. Back to the action. And Joe leaving the 10-pin. Frank Lunghi, if he strikes, will take a 1-pin lead in the 6th frame over George Williams. This one looks pretty good. Coming up, leads the light, gets the 9, so stays with 9, so him and George are tied. Him and George are tied after 6 frames, or through 5. Here comes Joe LaBargo, covering that spare beautifully. Well done on the spare, Joe. Ligbt again at South Levittown for the house shot tournament. Entry fees are only $65 and $55. That's Sunday, March 13th. Scores will not affect your LIGBT average. No membership dues. So bring in new members. Come on down and bowl next Sunday. Way to go, Frank, on the spare. Now, finally, a week later, we'll be back with a sports shot tournament at AMF Wantor. AMF Wantor will be running the 35-foot Broadway pattern at AMF Wantor on Sunday, March 20th. Hope you can make it, squads. 1 and 3 o'clock. All right, up George Williams. I said it did. Thank you. George Williams tied right now with Frank Lunghi. Oh, and he throws a good shot, leaves a 10-pin, so if he makes this spare, he'll remain tied with Frank. All right, Jetta Bonds starting to bowl good. This one high, trips the 7, right, the 10-pin goes down. Yes, she does. 10-pin goes down. Way to go, Jetta. We're 6 frames in, still has no double here. 39-foot middle-of-the-road pattern, proving tough for these 4 bowlers. Let's see if George can make the spare. Oh no, this one could go in the gutter. No, it holds on. Great shot, George. So Frank Lunghi and George Williams are tied through 6 frames. Now, Joe LaBargo is 21 pins behind the leaders. Jetta is 15 pins behind the leaders, but has a strike working to knock it down to 5. Oh, Joe's going way left on this and leaves just the 5-pin. Frank Lunghi tied for the lead here in frame number 7, going high, leaves just the 6-10. Frank Lunghi's been a member since 2011. He's a retired gentleman. He's married, has 1 daughter, and his home bowling center is South Levittown Lanes, where we're going next weekend. All right, Joe LaBargo making the spare. Frank Lunghi all over the spare, 7 in a row. Way to go, Frank. Great crowd behind us. Great crowd behind us watching the final action, seeing who is going to be the latest LIGBT champion, $1,000 winner. All right, George Williams. Now, George, if he gets a 9, he takes a 1-pin lead, a strike, a 2-pin lead. Let's see if he can take advantage of it. Oh, he gets a 7, and then now he's down 1 pin, so he loses 3 pins in wood to Frank Lunghi. All right, Jetta Bonds. Jetta going high, leading the 2-4-7 Jetta. Been a member since 2014. Her best finish is 2nd place. She bowls out of AMF 34th Avenue, and she's a Verizon's system technician during the week. All right, George, you all over that spare? Yes, he bails it out. So he is 1 pin behind Frank Lunghi going into frame number 8. Here comes Jetta. Can she cover? No chop. Oh, she chops the 2 off the 4-7. Bad break. So Jetta right now falling to 4th. Joe LaBargo's in 3rd. Frank Lunghi is in 1st. 1 pin ahead of George Williams. Here we go, 8th frame. Frank Lunghi up. Here comes Frank. Does it come up enough? Comes up enough and rips the rack for the strike. So Frank, way to go. 67 years young, Frank Lunghi. Okay, Joe LaBargo needs to start striking to make himself relevant in this match. Here comes, this one could be good. And in the pit, Joe knows it's time to start performing. Way to go, Joe. Big strike for Joe. All right, Jetta Bonds. Working off and open. This one could hold pocket. Goes Jersey, leaves again the 2-7. Jetta's struggling. George Williams, 1 pin behind, but The leader struck in the 8th frame. George needs to get a strike to stay in pace with Frank Lunghi. Okay, this one going a little wide. Leaves the 1-2-4. See, Jetta can make this spare. This one's a toughie. Got a shot. Oh, what a great spare for Jetta Bonds. Great conversion for Jetta. All right, believe it or not, we're through 8 frames. No one has doubled. It is amazing how the bowlers, with the pressure, the prize money, the prestige of the title, and the fact that the lanes are probably a little spotty after 8 hours, having a tough time. Okay, George Williams makes the spare. Good spare, George, so he stays 1 pin behind Frank Lunghi, but Frank has the ball. Joe's Home Bowling Center is also AMF 34th Avenue. He's a single gentleman. Oh, in the pocket. Does it hit it? It leaves the 5 pin. So that would have been a double for Joe, the first one of the match, and would have put him back in. Joe, professional, works in logistics. Joe, 25 years young. He's the youngster in the final. Frank Lunghi trying for the double. Will take an 11-pin lead. This looks great. Oh, he leaves a stone 9-pin. Wow, Frank, that would have put a ton of pressure on everybody. Now he's stuck with a spare and only a 1-pin lead. Here comes Joe, and he makes the spare. Don't forget to like the LIGBT on Facebook. The LIGBT on Facebook will give you more additional information, special pictures, and information about future LIGBT events. Frankie, real confident on that spare. I'll tell you, Frank's going real consistent. 9 spares and marks in a row.
I changed the line. I
All right, big strike shot here for George. George down 4 pins, but if he strikes, he controls his own destiny in the 10th. This one has a chance. Come up. Oh no, he needs another 6 count, losing another 4 pins in wood. So this match is Frank Lunghi's to lose. Jetta Bond in her 9th frame. This one looks pretty good. Oh, pocket, he trips the 6-pin. Way to go, Jetta! All right, George Williams needs to make this spare to keep the pressure on Frank Lunghi. Frank's going to go in with an 8-pin lead in the 10th frame if George marks. Does he hold on? He might miss the headpin here, and he hits the headpin. It doesn't fall. Wow, so George opens, and Frank Lunghi is looking real good for his first title. So it's going to wind up being a double 2 and open. All right, Joe LaBargo. This one going a little high. He plows it, leaves the 4-7. Frank Lunghi, a mark, gives Frank his 2nd title, his first one in 4 years. Big shot for Frank Lunghi, just needing a mark. Here's your shot. This looks pretty good. Good shot for the champion. The winner is Frank Lunghi. What a great shot under pressure. Frank Lunghi raising his arms in victory. Way to go, Frank.
I threw a 6 count. I got a strike.
All right, here comes Joe LaBargo. Holding on for the spare. Good spare, Joe. Frank Lunghi, big strike in the 10th. Okay, Joe LaBargo finishing up his 10th frame. If he spares, he'll shoot 169 scratch, 214 with handicap. This one looks pretty good. Comes a little light, 7 counts, so Joe finishes with 166, 211 with his handicap. He could finish third or fourth for Joe. All right, Frank Lunghi goes high, good enough, stays clean. He's going to shoot 190, which means he's going to be the only clean bowler, which made him victorious today. You get the check box? Good. All right, George Williams looking to secure second place. George, you go in Jersey. Oh, he's got a rockin' 5-pin. All right, here comes Frank Lunghi, the champion. Makes the spare, 191. Way to go, Frank. So, Frank, getting congratulations. Here's this check and the trophy presented by Gary Paulson, his buddy. Frank, show the check and trophy. There he is, Frank Lunghi. Title number 2, first time in 4 years. Congratulations, Frank. All right, George Williams making the spare.
Frank said we walked in here and he was I told him.
All right, Jetta Bonds. Could we get our first double of the match in the 10th frame? No, she opens with a 4-6-7. So George Williams is going to finish second for $500. Joe LaBargo is going to finish third with $350, and Jetta Bonds is going to finish fourth. 236 it took to win the match. Here comes George Williams with a strike, finishes with 155 scratch, 217 handicap, good for $500 in second place for George Williams. Jetta Bonds finishing up hers. She finishes out with a 9 count, 140, 197 for fourth place. Here are your final scores. 236 for for Frank Lunghi, worth $1,000. Second place, George Williams, 217, worth $500. Third, Joe LaBargo, 211, worth $350. Fourth, Jetta Bonds, 197, worth $300. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We hope to see you at South Levittown Lanes, Sunday, March 13th. Have a good evening.